Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit and welcome to another video on update 7.0, the massive update. And suitably massive is the vast number of cat fruit true forms we have. One. It's your boy Cat Eastwood, a rather underused fellow, probably because there is very little use for him. I'm sure he's outclassed by much other stuff, but maybe not for much longer, because Cat Eastwood is going to get himself a true form. I'm going to have my first look at it now, and it is Rodeo Cat. True form evolution gains improved defense, range, and attack power, plus black enemies are slowed for longer, so it should make it a more competent unit. Well, I have everything that I need to true form it. Let's evolve. Watch the cat fruit come about, spin round this rocking horse happy little fellow. Clash, splash, splash. And now he's a rodeo cat. And some very nicely designed wooden wheels there. I like how they wobble about, that's nice. And he's having a great time of it, look. Retired from the desperado life and now in training to win the big bull riding competition. Sometimes slows black enemies. Well, isn't that good news? Now I have somewhere to take him, which is why I've been rushing a little bit faster than I usually would, because for a little bit at least, 4 more minutes, the XP stage is on. And what better place to take your new-found thing that's against black enemies and put it into a bit of an XP stage. Now I'm going to go with normal, just because I don't want to use up too much energy, because we're going to be attempting the level I said I'd attempt before. So I'm going to copy slot 1, take it all the way to slot 10, which I'm not using anymore, replace that, and instead of Mr. XP combo face here, Rodeo Cat, let's put him in there. And, you know, arguably he should be able to pretty much do the level itself. Let's attack, and into the battle we go. Luckily I managed to actually find the time to get to it. Would have been a bit embarrassing if I'd missed it. But now it is time to unleash the Rodeo Cat. 645 monies, and there he is, bouncing around, having a wonderful time. Oh, he gets his guns out and shoots them. You know what that reminds me of? It's like the Man in Black in Westworld. Now, I don't think I can really elaborate much further on that without spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but to be honest, actually, it's going downhill, so don't bother. I love how happy they look. Look at that. I mean, I, of all people, usually dislike other people's happiness because I'm in a state of constant anxiety and misery, as I am now. Anyway, I very much like the attack animation, the crash bang, flash bang, sort of McCree sort of thing as well, you know. It's, well, it's high, nearly 2 PM. See, there's a little flaw in my plan here. None of these enemies are black enemies. I really probably should have thought about that. Just considered the fact that in the early XP stages, there are no black enemies at all. So this proves absolutely nothing, other than giving us a lovely opportunity to see the attack animation and moving animation. I very much like it. I really want it to be useful. It's the kind of cat that will be fun to use. When you start out Battle Cats, you sort of place cats because of their novelty or how exciting their attack is. Well, I'm sure most people have started out that way, but eventually you just get down to sort of rational, how is this going to help me thinking. But you never really have that opportunity to just use something for the sake of it. And that's how I'm going to justify trying it out on a level with no black enemies. I'm going to do one more XP stage, I think, because this is helping towards my cat challenges. Again, there's going to be no black enemies in this one, but I get to see him rocking about, having a wonderful time. I mean, to be fair, that actually looks like a little bit of an easy rodeo. It's only going back and forth, not sort of pulling a psych and twisting around or moving from side to side to try and dislodge you, because if you're leaning one way to balance to counter its motion and then it suddenly goes back, you fall straight off, or you tend to. This one though, it's just going back and forth and back and forth. Like, this bloke ain't even talented. He's got an easy rodeo. Oh, XP Mega Blitz is on after all that. Well, I mean, I guess I probably would have been better to wait for a little bit and try that, but I guess that's just what happens. If I do that and an energy recovery ad, I'm gonna have like one try at the level. So I think I'm gonna try and do the level and just assume that it would be brilliant on Refined Palette. I mean, it probably would be. Thirst for vengeance then. So we're now actually within the castle a little bit on one of the sort of watchtowers. And we know that this one contains a Professor A and our big challenge, Razorback, which we previously had nothing really for. But now we have plenty more. So this is basically my merciless XP slot. And we've just got rid of the XP combo freshman cat jobs from it and put our little rodeo cat in there. That's fair enough. But what I think I'm going to have to do is perhaps, instead of Shingen, bring in Meg Aphrodite for that outranging, because we still got Jizo for an incredible amount of damage against black enemies, and in this way we're still going to get the outranging that we need. And other than that, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work against the Razorback. It ought to, because there are Razorbacks in Merciless XP, and there are 3 of them. So with a freeze up combo, Bombercat can perma-freeze. I remember that being the case. So the Razorback ought not to move, and if it does move, we've got Gamerion and other good things like that. We've got our dual Razor meat shielding, and that means hopefully it won't get to Meg Aphrodite, and then we can just snipe from behind and have this work out rather well. But there's only really one way to test that, so let's attack, and into Thirst for Vengeance we go. The level looks so beautifully innocent at the start of it with our little, well, nothing to start off with, and then just a Professor A, a slow little red boy who just couldn't harm a fly. Although it might actually, because it's an anteater. Although, wouldn't that be an ant, not a fly? I don't care, I drop biology. Him being so slow does give us a good opportunity. I'm only going to upgrade the Worker Cat once. One thing I remember from doing the Worker Cat video, of which there should be another one soon, more exact stats and stuff, doesn't actually pay as much as we thought it did to upgrade your Worker Cat. Only payback time actually only comes to fruition after quite a while. Anyway, we've got our first Bomber Cat out, and you can see the perma-freeze already in action. I brought out Gamerion, which I feel like is a little bit of a mistake. Probably would have been better getting Meg Aphrodite out, but I just want to make sure that freeze is achieved, and if something does go wrong, we've got Gamerion to buy ourselves a little bit of time. Now, I shouldn't have to meat shield too much. Actually, no, I'm definitely going to have to because of Professor A. But typically, with a Razorback completely immobile and not doing anything, you're not going to need to meat shield. But now that we've got another force attacking behind it, we definitely are. Am I getting monies from... Oh, no. Oh, you spanner in the works, you. Taki's long distance. It's going to throw a spanner in all of my works. I mean, if... Oh, no, Razorback's got an attack up now. If it was just aiming at the front of my meat shields and would only hit them, Meg Aphrodite would be fine. But now we are resolutely screwed because that is not going to work. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer with my finger poised over this button. Oh my... What? A hacky as well. God, this subchapter's really gone downhill. So, for all the fuss I made about Meg Aphrodite, she's actually not going to help at all. Because I thought she'd just be there for the Professor A and we'd be able to work with that. But no. Ataki had to come along and ruin things, which is very sad. Don't really like that at all. So, we're going to take a different tack and not bother with Meg Aphrodite, and I'm actually going to try and use the cat that this video is focused on because I just completely forgot about it the last time because we had Razorback just sort of nicely snug and away. I think my strategy I need to employ is as soon as the Razorback comes out, which is now, let it run over towards me, meat shield a little bit, freeze it, and then immediately get Jizo out and do as much damage as possible. That's going to be our course of action, so we need to try and kill it as fast as we can. If we can kill it, we can move forward and try and kill the Takis, because Takis are nowhere near as much of a problem when you've just got fighting them melee. When they're shooting at you from their irregular range hideout from behind, you are in trouble. And it's not great. We've knocked back Razorback. That's excellent. Our little rodeo bloke contributing there. Unfortunately, Razorback, as you can see, can break out of the spell of Bomber Cat at any point now that we've got Professor A licking them to death. You know, Professor A, never really been a problem for me. And now he is absolutely and resolutely a problem. But look, feast your eyes upon that. The Jizo strat has worked. We've absolutely blasted that Razorback into oblivion, and we still got all our base health. I'm just going to freeze them in their tracks there and just try and move forward, make sure they don't hit the base. Are they hitting the base? They are. They are hitting the base. That is not great news. That is really not that good. Taki isn't doing too much damage at the moment, and we've knocked him back. But of course, Taki is here to ruin everything once again. So, I've succeeded in killing the Razorback. That was my strategy. Good. Bad is that, because that's here now. Unless we try and fight Razorback a little bit further forward. Maybe that's our only choice. Let's try that. Don't even know if upgrading the worker cat's going to be a good idea. I mean, we're only kind of Gizo spamming, so nothing incredibly expensive. But I'm going to stop there now that the Professor A's out, because as soon as Razorback comes out, that's when we're going to start. Because I remember in the last video I started too early, and Professor A just started profiting off what I'd sent out without actually doing anything to Razorback. I'm going to send out an eraser now, I think, because the Razorback is soon to come out, I'm sure of it. No? No? Come on, you're showing me up a little bit here, Razorback. There we go. Okay, Razorback's here. I think this is just about the right time then. Gizo and everything else. And I'm actually starting to think that our new true form here might be quite well suited to this, because our permafreeze from Bombercat is all very well, but Bombercat is, you know, right up in your face range, and that's usually fine with a Razorback because it's going to be stalled, it's not going to be killing them. Problem comes when we got Professor A here, licking everything and killing it at an incredibly fast rate. He's just going to be melting my Bombercats on the front line, but when I've got my rodeos, they're going to be able to stand back and do the same kind of job, although it's a slow rather than a freeze, from where they'll be safe. So actually, this might be quite well suited to this level, and I'm glad about that. So, where we are now is not next to our base, so we're not going to get killed in that sense. Unfortunately, the sense we might be getting killed in is the fact that Razorback is still alive and is moving forward through all my stuff. I've only got meat shields left. That is a get in the bin level attempt there. No chance for us. I'm going to try this time just not upgrading my worker cat at all, see if we can have more of a surplus of money so when Razorback comes out, and try it that way around. It pays to try everything, I guess. That's how you get to do it all by yourself, trying something until something works. I probably actually ought to count how long it takes until Razorback comes out so that I have a solid timer. If it's, you know, a range, that would be quite annoying, but there he is. Okay, let's bring out all the stuff. About 4,500 monies. I'm not going to get Gamirion out though, because all I want to do at the moment are slowers and stuff like that, and our damages. Just spam Gizo over and over again, and we're going to get our ranged true form of Gunslinger Cat to do the slowing, because Bomber Cat's just going to get melted. It's really probably not worth it. Okay, we got a knockback there, which has put Professor A in front, but it's alright. Razorback is moving back into its previous position, so as long as we can keep it where it is and kill it before the Tacky does any kind of reasonable damage to us, that'd be great. But we've binned it again. Somehow, I don't really understand that. The lightning strike has no effect whatsoever, but we've frozen it, as it happens, right next to our base. So ultimately, no. We're just going to get roasted by the Tacky, and things are just going to get worse and worse from there on. I will try it for a little bit longer until our base is in mortal danger, but I can't see it working out. We're just going to get absolutely melted. It's not going to give us great opportunity for killing the Razorbacks. We're just going to get hit by Tackies along with the base and everything else. And everything's just going to clump together, start killing the base, and Hacky has appeared. So I'd say that is not worth carrying on. Let's try again. Maybe then, contrary to how I did it before, the best idea would be to actually get Gamirion out so that we have that safety layer for if everything goes wrong. Quite like that. It seems that our first attempt at freezing the Razorback did not go entirely well, but we are still far enough away from the base as to where it doesn't really matter. So it's time to spam the Gizos, get them ready, because Gamirion is not really a damage dealer, it's more of a tank, an incredible amount of health, especially respective to black enemies. Let's get some Bomber Cats back in, because as soon as Razorback moves forward, having the range doesn't really help, because he's just going to melt through everything. We need some bombers at the start, and then to maintain the slow with the Rodeo Cats. Unfortunately, Tacky is now here, and is causing trouble like the nasty youth that it is. I do not know what to do, especially. I mean, it's just a course of Gizo spamming, but that's going to be made more difficult by the Tacky with its infinite range because of how it works. I bet it doesn't even know what it's doing. It just kills everything within sight. But would you take a look at that? I've just realised that Hacky outranges Meg Aphrodite. But if we get lucky, she'll go inside his range. We haven't got lucky there at all. Meg Aphrodite survived. I'm going to try and freeze all that. There's a Tacky as well. Like, the odds are stacked incredibly against Meg Aphrodite, but she did get a shot in, and she isn't dying that quickly. I suspect her death is going to come very soon, though. Unfortunately, this is going to be another failed attempt. A better failed attempt than before, I will admit. If Meg Aphrodite one-shotted all of them, we'd be sorted. Unfortunately, she can't. I was about to say, can I win this with meat shields and legs? But no, Haki is within range of the base. It's actually meaner levels of irritation. I hate it. It's difficult enough without you or the Taki there. Just to let you know. How come the enemy AI is always on point? Oh, that Bomber Cat's gonna get sacrificed. Not entirely good. Actually, fairly irritating. We're going to get some waves out as well. See if we can reach Professor A with our Manic Macho legs. Do a little bit of damage in the meantime. Then we're just going to keep going Jizo, Jizo, Jizo. And hopefully we can keep him slow from the rodeo cats in the back line. I'm going to need to do the occasional Bomber Cat just in case Razorback moves forward. Because if it moves forward and there's no Bomber Cat to stop it, or it catches a Bomber Cat out, that's it. You've just been absolutely roasted into oblivion. Moves forward at about a zillion, squillion, magillion miles an hour, and you're dead. I was going to say a little bit like that, but we got a lucky proc from Rodeo who slowed it. But no luck anymore as Razorback steams forward and melts us completely and utterly. And now we're too close to our base. The same thing's going to happen again, and it's just a bit sad, really. I was just starting to think, are the Bomber Cats actually hit by Professor A? Because I'd be tempted to say I don't actually think they are. Like, genuinely, it didn't look like they were dying to Professor A, which is strange. Maybe I've just observed it wrong, or maybe I'm observing it wrong now. You can't be entirely sure, but you can be entirely sure that the pause button doesn't work because it's just decided that the battle's over now. So thank you, Ponos. I'm glad you have. What I've decided to do here is change it fundamentally into more a sort of floor 39-y thing. We can't stick it out and kill them from a long range because of the combination of different things covering like all possible ranges that have ever existed. We're just going to get blasted whatever we do. So it's time to just try and rush it with semi-tanky units, which is why I've brought dual islands, which are incidentally the solution to everything, to try and push through the ranks. Of course, they're anti-red. Hopefully they should work against Taki. Maybe be able to get up to Professor A without being eternally stopped and then killed. I've reduced us down to 1 meat shield. I really want to keep my new cat to sort of make it valid within the context of the video. I'm not entirely sure it's going to help hugely. I'm probably just going to see if we can work on perma-freezing with Bomber Cat and just hope that that works even with Professor A there. I don't know which observation I made was right. The only thing I can be pretty sure of is that they can't both be wrong. It's time to freeze, G's, and breeze to victory. Another 170 energy down the drain. I mean, I said that about the Day of Reckoning. We did it first time, but this truly, probably, definitely is going to be a bit of an issue. The first thing I'm possibly going to do is get a maglev sent out to Professor A. See how long it lasts. Stall it a little bit, like you sort of do at the start of No Plan A, stuff like that. Not sure if that's really worth it. We did get a hit, but it died pretty soon after. There is, of course, the option to try and rush Professor A at the start. Maybe there is a possibility of just rushing past him and beating the Razorback, but I really don't feel like there's time to do that. I mean, of course, I'm open to giving it a go, but I really feel like there won't be enough time to do that. Anyway, for now, we're going to conserve monies. Well, I say that. We're spamming Manica Razor, Jizo, and Bomber, so conserve monies otherwise to that. For the moment, I'm just going to work with that. Try and get Manic Macho legs when we can as well to let the waves go through and possibly hit Professor A. Yeah, I think they are hitting him. And there we go. There is a knockback on Razorback. This is when we get destroyed, but the sheer mass of Bomber Cats means that we have frozen him again. And oh no, we haven't frozen him again. He's back. Like, he's back on his feet like Martin. We just got to really try. Do lots of damage to him, Jizo. You're not Hypermax, so I guess that technically is an option should I need it. But I try my best not to upgrade my units until I absolutely need it. We're going to try and get through this through strategic ingenuity. And look at that. Razorback is dead. Time to take into account everything else. We're going to maglev this. We're going to freeze all of that. And we're just going to start absolutely trying to spam our way to victory with dual islands and stuff like that. We've managed to knock Professor A back, and Haki is not, heaven forbid, in range of the base. I don't remember the last time he wasn't in range of the base. The Taki is dead. Didn't I tell you that dual islands are the solution to everything? We got a maglev knockback on Professor A, and oh my days. I think we are quite possibly in control of this. Wow. Wow! Jewel Island's just pushing them back and pushing them back. I mean, they do get slowed and stopped fairly often. I mean, I say stop. Technically, apparently there's like one movement speed. They move so slowly it's not really visible unless you squint really hard at it. They're like nasty lollipop people. They stop you when the traffic's clear. They just want to waste time in your day. But it's good because we killed one of those lollipop people. Professor A is dead, the Hacky is dead, and my awful analogy is over because the level is over. Yes, yes, yes. Done it all by myself. Jewel Islands are, in fact, and still remain, the solution to every problem in existence. And we managed to keep Rodeo Cat as well. Don't suspect I really used it much, but he was in my strap. And I've done it with Rodeo Cat. There we go then, Thirst for Vengeance is done. I'm glad I finally thought of rushing it. That's one thing we're doing all by myself, so I never really thought of rushing things. But now, Floor 39 has tapped into my head and thought, yeah, you know what? All this sort of tacky and stuff, we can't really stick it out and fight them. Let's just try and rush through them. And it worked. Thank goodness for that. The level's done. And the cat, I really like it. It slows things nicely. Looks like it has a use of being in the back line and still getting that nice slow effect. It should be more reliable and just generally better than it was before. Helped us somewhat in the level as well, and it was definitely an enjoyable cat to use. Nice attack animation, nice walking animation. Well designed, I'd say. Other than that, all I've left to say is please subscribe if you'd like to. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and any and every subscription will be massively appreciated. Goodbye to you all, and I hope you enjoyed.